Remember words by reading essays. The Cliffside Discovery.
Good morning, everyone. In today's lesson, we are going to study a short passage titled The Cliffside Discovery. It's an interesting story about a hike along the ocean cliffs. First, I'd like you to listen to the whole passage carefully so that you can get a general idea of the story and its atmosphere. Please focus on the overall meaning rather than every single word.
Alex and his friends decided to hike along the jagged cliffs overlooking the ocean. Their plan seemed monolithic, a simple trek to enjoy nature, but tensions quickly arose. Marcus and Lila were at loggerheads with each other about the route to take, their bickering threatening to ruin the outing. When they reached a narrow path jutting out over the cliffs, Alex felt he had passed the point of no return. The wind was strong, and retreat seemed impossible. He carefully doffed his hat, respecting the unwritten rules of the trail, while silently abhorring the thought of someone slipping because of carelessness. As they proceeded, Alex began to tally the number of birds nesting nearby, while Lila bewailed the fear that had gripped her when she saw the drop. They came upon an eponymous rock formation, known locally as Eagle's Nest, and joked about sharing the name with their namesakes back in the city. Later, exhausted, they found a hidden cove where some travelers were boozing. Alex warned the group not to slack off. The climb back would be treacherous. They discovered that a local guide would divulge secret fishing spots only to those who poured effort into helping, so they all pitched into a system. Meanwhile, a furtive, covertly and surreptitiously moving fox caught Alex's attention. The creature had slipped by stealth, almost as if it were trying to sneak past unnoticed. Standing near the edge, Alex felt vertiginous and slightly giddy, but pressed onward. Suddenly, a delinquency in the safety railing made the cliff edge more dangerous. Rocks began to jut out unpredictably, a salient danger to anyone who lingered. One of the hikers accidentally disgorged the contents of their backpack while trying to regain balance. Problems cropped up everywhere, but Alex noticed that the group's teamwork had improved by leaps and bounds since the hike began. At the end of the day, as the sun set, everyone slathered on sunscreen again to soothe the sunburns from earlier, feeling triumphant and alive after a day of danger, laughter, and adventure.
Now, let's listen to the passage a second time. This time, I will pause from time to time and explain some important vocabulary and phrases used in the text. Pay special attention to how these expressions are used in context, because they will help you understand the story more clearly.
Alex and his friends decided to hike along the jagged cliffs overlooking the ocean. Their plan seemed monolithic, a simple trek to enjoy nature, but tensions quickly arose.
The word monolithic originally means made of one large stone. But in modern English, it often describes something that appears solid, uniform, or unchangeable. In the text, their plan seemed monolithic suggests the hiking plan looked simple and unified, with no differences or complications at first.
Does monolithic always mean something physical? Like a stone structure?
Not necessarily. It's often used metaphorically to describe organizations, systems, or ideas that seem rigid or all the same.
Could we say a company has a monolithic structure?
Yes, exactly. That would mean the company is very centralized and operates as one solid, unified system.
Marcus and Lila were at loggerheads with each other about the route to take, their bickering threatening to ruin the outing.
The phrase "we're at loggerheads with" means to be in strong disagreement or conflict with someone. In the passage, Marcus and Lila were at loggerheads with each other about which route to take, meaning they argued and couldn't agree. It often describes a situation where two people hold completely opposing views.
Is it the same as just having a small disagreement?
Not exactly. It usually suggests a more serious or stubborn disagreement where neither side wants to change.
Can we use it for groups or countries too?
Yes, absolutely. For example, we can say two political parties are at loggerheads over policy.
When they reached a narrow path jutting out over the cliffs, Alex felt he had passed the point of no return.
The phrase point of no return refers to a stage where it is impossible or extremely difficult to go back to the earlier situation. In the passage, Alex felt he had passed the point of no return on the narrow cliff path, meaning turning back safely was no longer an option.
Is this phrase only used for physical places?
Not at all. It's often used figuratively, such as in decisions or relationships where reversing the action becomes impossible.
Could it be used in business or science?
Yes. For example, people might say a project has reached the point of no return when too much time or money has already been invested.
The wind was strong, and retreat seemed impossible. He carefully doffed his hat, respecting the unwritten rules of the trail.
The verb doffed means to remove something you are wearing, especially a hat. It is a slightly formal or old-fashioned word. In the passage, Alex doffed his hat, which suggests he took it off, possibly as a sign of respect or simply because of the situation on the windy cliff.
Is doff the opposite of don?
Yes, exactly. Don means to put on clothing, while doff means to take it off.
Do people use this word in everyday conversation?
Not very often. It appears more in literature or formal descriptions than in casual speech.
While silently abhorring the thought of someone slipping because of carelessness.
The word abhorring comes from the verb abhor, which means to hate something very strongly or to feel deep disgust toward it. In the passage, Alex was abhorring the thought of someone slipping off the cliff, meaning he strongly hated or feared the idea of such a careless accident.
Is abhor stronger than just saying dislike?
Yes, much stronger. Dislike is mild, but abhor expresses intense hatred or moral disgust.
Can we use it for behavior too?
Certainly. For example, someone might say they abhor cheating because they believe it is completely wrong.
As they proceeded, Alex began to tally the number of birds nesting nearby.
The word tally means to count or keep a record of something. In the passage, Alex began to tally the number of birds nesting nearby, which means he was keeping track of how many birds he saw. It's often used when keeping score or making a running total.
Can tally be used as a noun too?
Yes, as a noun. A tally is the total number counted or recorded. For example, the final tally of votes was announced.
Is it formal or informal?
It can be used in both formal and informal contexts, especially in situations involving counting, records, or comparisons.
While Lila bewailed the fear that had gripped her when she saw the drop.
The word bewailed means to express strong sorrow, regret, or complaint about something. In the passage, Lila bewailed the fear she felt when seeing the cliffs drop, meaning she openly expressed how frightened she was.
Is it the same as just saying she complained?
Not exactly. Bewail has a stronger emotional tone. It suggests sadness or distress, not just annoyance.
Can we use it for things other than fear?
Yes. For example, someone might bewail the loss of a friend or bewail missed opportunities, expressing deep sorrow.
They came upon an eponymous rock formation, known locally as Eagle's Nest.
The word eponymous describes something that gives its name to a person, place, or thing. In the passage, the hikers came upon an eponymous rock formation called Eagle's Nest, meaning the rock shares the same name as the place itself.
So it's like when a book is named after the main character.
Exactly. For example, in the book Jane Eyre, Jane is the eponymous character.
Can it also be used for brands or cities?
Yes, a city named after a person, or a brand named after its founder, can also be described as eponymous.
And joked about sharing the name with their namesakes back in the city.
The word namesakes refers to people or things that share the same name. In the passage, the hikers joked about sharing the name of Eagle's Nest with their namesakes back in the city, meaning other places or people that have the same name.
Can a person and a place be namesakes?
Yes, absolutely. For example, a child named after their grandparent is a namesake of that grandparent.
Can companies be namesakes too?
Yes, a company named after its founder, like Ford Motor Company after Henry Ford, is also considered a namesake.
Later, exhausted, they found a hidden cove where some travelers were boozing.
The word boozing is an informal term that means drinking alcohol, usually in a relaxed or sometimes excessive way. In the passage, some travelers were boozing in the hidden cove, which suggests they were sitting around and drinking alcohol together.
Is booze a noun or a verb?
It can be both. Booze as a noun means alcoholic drinks, and to booze as a verb means to drink alcohol.
Is this word formal?
No. It's quite informal and often used in casual conversation rather than formal writing.
Alex warned the group not to slack off. The climb back would be treacherous.
The phrasal verb slack off means to become less active, less careful, or less hardworking than before. In the passage, Alex warned the group not to slack off, meaning they shouldn't relax too much or stop paying attention, because the climb back up the cliff would still be difficult and dangerous.
Does slack off always relate to work?
Often, yes. People say someone slacks off when they stop putting in effort at work or school.
Can it be used for physical activities too?
Certainly. For example, a coach might tell players not to slack off during practice.
They discovered that a local guide would divulge secret fishing spots only to those.
The verb divulge means to reveal or make secret information known to others. In the passage, the local guide would divulge secret fishing spots only to people who helped him, meaning he would share that hidden information with them.
Is divulge usually related to secrets?
Yes, most of the time. It often refers to revealing information that was previously private or confidential.
Is it a formal word?
It's slightly formal and is commonly used in writing, news reports, or serious discussions.
Who poured effort into helping.
The word poured usually means to make a liquid flow out steadily. But in the phrase poured effort into helping, it is used figuratively. It means to give a lot of energy, time, and dedication to something. In the passage, the hikers poured effort into helping the guide.
So it doesn't involve real liquid here.
Right. It's a metaphor, suggesting effort flowing out in a strong and continuous way.
Can we say someone poured their heart into a project?
Yes. That's a very common expression. meaning they worked with great passion and commitment.
So they all pitched into a system.
The phrase pitched in means to join others in helping with a task. In the passage, the hikers pitched in to assist the guide, which means everyone contributed their effort instead of leaving the work to one person.
Is it usually used for teamwork?
Yes, exactly. It often describes people cooperating and sharing responsibility.
Can it be used in everyday situations?
Certainly. For example, when friends clean up after party, everyone can pitch in to finish the job quickly.
Meanwhile, a furtive
The word furtive describes behavior that is secretive or done in a quiet, sneaky way to avoid being noticed. In the passage, the fox moved in a furtive manner, suggesting it was cautious and trying not to attract attention.
Does furtive always imply something suspicious?
Often it does. It can suggest that someone is hiding their actions because they don't want others to see.
Could it describe a look or glance?
Yes. People often say a furtive glance, meaning a quick, secret look to avoid being noticed.
covertly and surreptitiously moving fox caught Alex's attention.
The adverbs covertly and surreptitiously both describe actions done secretly. Covertly means in a hidden or concealed way, often to avoid attention. Surreptitiously also means secretly, but it usually suggests trying not to be seen because the action might be improper. In the passage, the fox moved covertly and surreptitiously, meaning it was quietly sneaking by without being noticed.
Are these two words exactly the same?
They are very similar, but surreptitiously often carries a stronger sense of secrecy or sneakiness.
Can they describe human actions too?
Absolutely. For example, someone might covertly observe a situation or surreptitiously check their phone during a meeting.
The creature had slipped by stealth.
The phrase by stealth means doing something quietly and secretly so that others do not notice. In the passage, the fox slipped past by stealth, which means it moved very carefully and silently to avoid being seen.
Is stealth always related to moving quietly?
Yes. It usually describes secret or silent movement, especially to avoid detection.
Can it be used in other situations?
Certainly. For example, someone might enter a room by stealth or complete a task quietly without attracting attention.
Almost as if it were trying to sneak past unnoticed.
The verb sneak means to move quietly and secretly so that no one notices you. In the passage, the fox seemed to sneak past unnoticed, which means it moved carefully and silently to avoid being seen.
Is sneak always about physical movement?
Most of the time, yes, but it can also mean secretly doing something, like sneaking a look at someone's paper.
Does it always imply doing something wrong?
Not always, but it often suggests secrecy or trying not to be discovered.
Standing near the edge, Alex felt vertiginous and slightly giddy, but pressed onward.
The words vertiginous and giddy both relate to dizziness. Vertiginous describes a strong feeling of dizziness, often caused by great height or looking down from a high place. Giddy means feeling lightheaded or unsteady, sometimes from excitement or fear. In the passage, Alex felt vertiginous and slightly giddy while standing near the cliff edge.
Is vertiginous mainly used for heights?
Yes, very often. It can describe both the dizzy feeling and something extremely high or steep.
Is giddy always negative?
Not necessarily. Someone can feel giddy with excitement, which means happily dizzy or overwhelmed with joy.
Suddenly, a delinquency in the safety railing made the cliff edge more dangerous.
The word delinquency usually means failure to do something that is expected, or minor wrongdoing. In the passage, a delinquency in the safety railing refers to a defect or fault, meaning the railing was not properly maintained, which made the cliff more dangerous.
So it doesn't always mean a crime.
Correct. While it can refer to minor crimes, it can also mean negligence, failure, or irresponsibility.
Can it be used for other things besides people?
Yes. For example, you can say delinquency in payment to mean a late or missed payment.
Rocks began to jet out unpredictably.
The phrasal verb jut out means to stick out or project beyond a surface. In the passage, rocks began to jut out unpredictably, meaning the rocks were extending outward from the cliff, creating a hazard.
Can jet out be used for things other than rocks?
Yes. Anything that sticks out, like a shelf, a branch, or a piece of furniture, can jut out.
Is it usually literal? Or can it be figurative?
Mostly literal, but it can be used figuratively, like saying a person's personality juts out in a crowd, meaning it stands out.
A salient danger to anyone who lingered.
The word salient means something that is very noticeable or important. In the passage, a salient danger refers to the rocks that clearly stood out as a threat to the hikers, drawing immediate attention.
Can salient be used for ideas too?
Yes, absolutely. For example, you can say the salient points of a lecture to mean the most important points.
Is it formal or informal?
It's generally more formal, often used in writing, reports, or serious discussions rather than casual conversation.
One of the hikers accidentally disgorged the contents of their backpack while trying to regain balance.
The word disgorged means to throw out or release something forcefully. In the passage, a hiker disgorged the contents of their backpack while trying to regain balance, meaning everything fell out suddenly and uncontrollably.
Is disgorge always used for objects falling out?
Not always. It can also describe liquids or even abstract things, like disgorging information quickly.
Is it formal or informal?
It's more formal or literary and is often used in writing rather than casual speech.
Problems cropped up everywhere.
The phrasal verb cropped up means to appear or happen unexpectedly. In the passage, problems cropped up everywhere means that difficulties appeared suddenly and in many places during the hike.
Can cropped up be used for good things too?
Yes, it can. For example, opportunities cropped up means unexpected opportunities appeared.
Is it formal or informal?
It's generally informal and often used in everyday speech to describe sudden events or situations.
But Alex noticed that the group's teamwork had improved by leaps and bounds since the hike began.
The phrase by leaps and bounds means to improve or grow very quickly. In the passage, Alex noticed that the group's teamwork had improved by leaps and bounds, meaning their cooperation got much better in a short time.
Can it be used for learning too?
Absolutely. You could say, her English skills improved by leaps and bounds after practicing every day.
Is it formal or informal?
It's mostly informal and conversational, often used to describe fast progress or development.
At the end of the day, as the sun set, everyone slathered on sunscreen again to soothe the sunburns from earlier.
The phrasal verb slathered on means to spread something thickly or generously over a surface. In the passage, everyone slathered on sunscreen to protect their skin from sunburn, meaning they applied it in a thick layer.
Can slather be used for food too?
Yes, definitely. You can slather butter on toast or slather sauce on a sandwich.
Is it formal or informal?
It's informal and often used in casual conversation to describe generous or messy application.
Feeling triumphant and alive after a day of danger, laughter, and adventure.
All right.
After our explanations, let's listen to the entire passage once more. As you listen, try to connect the meanings of the words and phrases we discussed with the flow of the story. This will help reinforce your understanding and improve your listening comprehension.
Alex and his friends decided to hike along the jagged cliffs overlooking the ocean. Their plan seemed monolithic, a simple trek to enjoy nature, but tensions quickly arose. Marcus and Lila were at loggerheads with each other about the route to take, their bickering threatening to ruin the outing. When they reached a narrow path jutting out over the cliffs, Alex felt he had passed the point of no return. The wind was strong, and retreat seemed impossible. He carefully doffed his hat, respecting the unwritten rules of the trail, while silently abhorring the thought of someone slipping because of carelessness. As they proceeded, Alex began to tally the number of birds nesting nearby, while Lila bewailed the fear that had gripped her when she saw the drop. They came upon an eponymous rock formation, known locally as Eagle's Nest, and joked about sharing the name with their namesakes back in the city. Later, exhausted, they found a hidden cove where some travelers were boozing. Alex warned the group not to slack off. The climb back would be treacherous. They discovered that a local guide would divulge secret fishing spots only to those who poured effort into helping, so they all pitched into a system. Meanwhile, a furtive, covertly and surreptitiously moving fox caught Alex's attention. The creature had slipped by stealth, almost as if it were trying to sneak past unnoticed. Standing near the edge, Alex felt vertiginous and slightly giddy, but pressed onward. Suddenly, a delinquency in the safety railing made the cliff edge more dangerous. Rocks began to jut out unpredictably, a salient danger to anyone who lingered. One of the hikers accidentally disgorged the contents of their backpack while trying to regain balance. Problems cropped up everywhere, but Alex noticed that the group's teamwork had improved by leaps and bounds since the hike began. At the end of the day, as the sun set, everyone slathered on sunscreen again to soothe the sunburns from earlier. Feeling triumphant and alive after a day of danger, laughter, and adventure.
That brings us to the end of today's lesson. I hope this explanation has helped you better understand the expressions and phrases in the Cliffside Discovery. Thank you for your attention and participation. See you in the next class.